It's a fantastic interoperability solution. We're quite close with their team. They have a large pipeline, so they can't get to every network. So our plan was to go after all the new up and coming alternative VM DeFi networks like Soroban, for example. So this is why we submitted for what we submitted for. And we're aiming to basically revolutionize the blockchain data transmission sector, which is just related to cross-chain messaging. Our initial product, this is not really related to our submission, but this is part of what can be built on top of this, which anybody, after we deploy all of the infrastructure here, will be able to build on top of this. But you can basically bring in data feeds permissionlessly on top of this. So if you want to bring in Chainlink feeds, they don't have to directly come from Chainlink. They can come through this to provide real-time price feeds to any blockchain, whether it's EVM or alternative VM like Soroban. Our second product, which is more relative to what we were building here, was Ortage Warp. This will use Hyperlane's technology to bring a reputable bridge to any blockchain. And to clarify there, we don't build the bridge. We build the infrastructure that allows anybody else to permissionlessly deploy a bridge. And the beautiful thing about those bridges is that they can have composable security modules. This is the fantastic thing about Hyperlane. So you can have a bridge that's secured by a multi-sig if you wish to go down that route, or you can use economic security and have validators and such. Again, we don't build the bridge, we're building the infrastructure. Now, just to focus in on some of the problems, the first thing is about hacks. And of course, security suffers without reliable oracles or data. So for any Web3 ecosystem to grow, you need quality data feeds and oracles. Again, this is not really relative right now to what we're submitting, but this is something that this can be utilized for. So you can actually bring in Chainlink feeds if you wish, or another oracle via this solution. So if we just move on to, so again, this is something that could be built on top of this. In case money, if developers want to save money, they don't want to get it straight from Chainlink, they can just do it via the solution. But the problem that we're solving for here, or at least this was the focus, was the bridging problem. So wrapped in synthetic assets are problematic as they result in fragmented liquidity, bad user experience, and low security guarantees, the native tokens. And reliable bridges are a must-have for an L1's ecosystem to thrive. So if you think of some of the biggest networks that have, I suppose, thrived over the last few years from the last bull run, obviously we have Ethereum, but then there's all these alternative networks, Solana and Avalanche, etc. They all had to have a reliable bridge, and they all had different security models. And there were some outliers there that got hacked, but there were others that didn't, and they have different security models. So what we're building here is an infrastructure to allow people to actually build bridges for Soroban, to connect them to the, I suppose, outside world, to bring in more capital. And you can basically compose the security on those bridges and that asset transfer or cross-chain messaging. So again, Ortage Warp leverages Hyperlane's technology to bring you a multi-layered security to any blockchain. It enables transfer of any token asset to any other blockchain network. Again, this doesn't come out of the box. This still requires somebody to go in and build a bridge on top of this. But once this infrastructure is in place, it means it's easier to build that bridge. Now, this can often be the case when bridging stablecoins to provide a stable environment for the burgeoning DeFi ecosystem when it's just sort of being born. As an example, Circle, Hyperlane allows Circle to plug into the existing infrastructure to ensure that there's a bridging landscape and it evolves with it. And it can also even leverage Circle CCTP and other technologies as they arise to basically future-proof your liquidity on-ramps.
Awesome.
So
Your time
again,
is coming up, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, just to finish off, again, Ortage builds on top of Hyperlane's technology with full support from the Hyperlane team. For customer EVM chains, we'll build the backend infrastructure and deployments. For customer alt VMs, like Soroban, we'll build the integration into Hyperlane and the resulting infrastructure and deployments. So again, why Hyperlane? You can look into Hyperlane, but the biggest thing is modular security and permissionless interoperability. This is why we chose it over Axelar and Layer 0. But yeah, you can basically build a bridge and choose your security model. So Thanks, guys. I hope that was helpful. I hope it clarified as much as it could clarify. Um, Let me just try and stop and share my screen here.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess there is a little bit of a so yeah, it's great presentation. I think there's a few questions here in the chat. So so Matthias says when you say this, does that mean it's not actually Ortige or Ortega? Sorry, I'm not sure how I pronounce it.
It's pronounced Ortage. It's actually
Ortage. Okay.
yeah. It's yeah. Anyway, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so when you said like this, does that mean that your reference this means not actually Artesia? Or is this the infrastructure? But what does that look like in terms of like deliverables and features? I think there's a little bit of confusion from the audience.
Okay, yeah. So the deliverables that we submitted for in this stage, I've listed them basically in our project thread. But this will cover writing the initial smart contracts for this infrastructure, but will not be usable. We would have to submit again, and we would have to go through another stage of development in order to get to a point where the infrastructure is fully in place for people to build bridges upon. If you're asking about Ortage, the brand, again, just to repeat what I said at the beginning, we as a brand and as an organization recently decided to pivot into blockchain data. So Ortage itself, if you go to the website, it actually focuses on blockchain data. We've pivoted a lot in this space. There's a lot of pivots going on, but we want to respect what we submitted for here originally because that was the focus. And at the end of the day, if we complete this with another round, then what Soroban will be left with is an infrastructure that will really be useful because it'll allow any developer to permissionlessly deploy a bridge that has sort of modular security that they can compose themselves.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it could be interesting to also see like, well, I mean, to think if you did want to pivot, there's still time, right? To pivot with your current project instead of kind of approving other maybe not relevant projects. So yeah, let's keep that in mind and we'll follow up a bit as well. But yeah, let's say another question here is like, have you experimented with CCTP before and on what chain?
That would be that's a great question, but I don't think I can answer it to the best of my ability. That would be a question for Justin on our team. I don't believe we've experimented it. I think Justin has tested out implementing with Hyperlane. He's discussed it with the team at Hyperlane to see if it's possible, and according to them, it is. So, yeah, that would be my answer to that.
Got it. So okay, yeah. So there's a few comments here. I might want to check out the thread. I think that's related to the first comment. But if anyone has any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think let me see, we're pretty good. Yeah, definitely take a look at some of the comments. It could be really interesting as it looks like what you're building is can be really powerful for the Sorbonne ecosystem. And yeah, I mean, Silence says like really like the product that you submitted. Reliable cross-chain messengers are definitely needed. So just keep us posted. It can always be good to kind of reevaluate whether the current product is still like the right roadmap and go accordingly. Anyway, thank you so much for presenting.
Yeah, thanks, Anke.
All right. Well, let's actually move forward now. Hopefully, Morgan actually was able to come on stage with.
Checking, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, awesome. It works now. I was like a little bit scared, but
too.
we should be good. All right. Can you move the slides?
I don't have the link expired that you sent me previously, so I'll need a new link. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, I'll move the slides for you since there's just like a few. How about that?
3 slides. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's do that. Okay. Again, sorry for the technical issues, and we'll just get started. My name is Morgan, and I represent Team Okashi, the Soroban Smart Contract Playground. I'm super excited to be pitching for SCF 20, which is our third SCF submission. It's hard to believe that number. We're extremely grateful for the opportunities provided by the community thus far. And I'll just touch on our mission. Our mission is to onboard at least 1 million developers to blockchain with our developer tools. We're doing this not only with features and functions, but a lot of empathy for the user experience. This means crafting every pixel with intent and thoughtful consideration. This means reducing complexity and delighting users. And I hope that comes across when you use our product. All right, let's get on with the demo, which is the second slide. Okay. So we're going to start with a Sorbonne onboarding speedrun. I don't know if anyone has done this before. So what you're seeing on screen is me trying to speedrun the Hello World section in the onboarding documentation for Sorbonne. Do you guys still see the video? Okay. Yeah, so this experience takes about a minute, and I think it's very important for everyone to be able to see where we are right now and how much better it can be. So the crux of this speedrun is to set up your environment, initialize a contract, make a change in the contract, and submit that change, and then call the contract again. So we have REST environment setup right now going on. Then we're going to call a contract, make a single change, recompile the contract, and call the contract again. So like I mentioned, this takes 60 seconds, an hour. Let's see how long it takes with Okashi. So we boot up, open up a new project, new account, compile a preloaded contract, call increment, make a change, recompile, increment, and boom, we're done. So this was 10 seconds when compared to 60 seconds of a previous experience. Now we're on to the demo of the changes that we made since our previous submissions. We've added a user system and avatars for presence. So we want to be able to allow users to differentiate themselves in the social aspect of Okashi. Next up, we added authentication to authenticate your users. And for that, we're using Stellar key pairs, which easily transitions to us enabling blockchain usage. So we've added account funding for blockchains like FutureNet and Testnet with one button. You click, you fund, and then you can open up your account in the Explorer to confirm that it's actually a funded account. Let's go back to the playground experience. And we have our regular widgets, contracting console. We see instant feedback coming in from the Okashi simulated environment. But now we can switch to FutureNet, which is a public blockchain. So you'll be able to see the difference. It's as easy as flipping a switch in the switcher here and calling deploy. Now what happens in the background, and you'll see it in a console, is that a contract is uploaded, then a contract is created. This takes a lot longer. It's not simulated, but it's live on the blockchain. You can go ahead and call your same functions on the blockchain using the same Okashi interface and see the output in the browser. No extra setup required. You can see this takes a little longer, but it's the FutureNet block time. You can call functions with arguments. The same modal applies. You just provide input using human readable text. These things are links to the Explorer. So every time you invoke a function or upload a contract, you'll be able to have access to the Explorer link. And to show the difference here, so we can switch back to Okashi, and then we're back into the instantaneous feedback loop of the simulated environment. Last part is we've added external contract support, so you can just copy in any contract ID from a FutureNet contract, and you'll be able to interact with it using the same user interface that Okashi is loved for. You'll be able to see the contract transactions with links to the Explorer and the output using human readable text. So that is our number one deliverable that we're going to be shipping later next month. This concludes the demo. Let's go on to the next slide. So what you've been able to see in the demo is actually live as a beta version on okashi.dev. We're in an open beta right now, so feel free to try it out. I can't wait to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for supporting Okashi thus far.
Awesome. This looks amazing. I love to see the progress as well, and the name change too. It's very nice. So let's see. We have a few comments here. Matthias mentions like that you mentioned we leave Soroban, and it has a few concerns about that. Would you be able to explain that a bit further?
If I said we leave Soroban, I made a mistake. I definitely don't mean leaving Soroban. I mean leaving Okashi as the simulated environment for Soroban and going to the public blockchain version of Soroban, which is FutureNet or testnet. We're not leaving Soroban. Soroban enables Okashi. Without Soroban, Okashi could not exist on any other blockchain. So those are pretty tied together.
Okay, looks like I actually mentioned it was meant for another submission. But anyway, thank you for iterating. Just keeping you on your toes, you know.
Right.
All right, we have another a question here from Silence. Any chance there will be the ability to call other projects in Okashi to make cross-contract calls and deployers, etc.?
Right. I love this question. We've been talking with Silence about this. Simulated environment, that's a lot harder to add. It's going to happen before year end, but right now you'll be able to call cross-contract with external contracts. So like I showed you in the demo, you take the contract ID, put it in the URL, okashi.dev/playground/the contract ID. And then if that calls other contracts within the contract, those happen, and like the system will return human readable output regardless of how many cross contract calls happen.
Awesome. Yeah, well, it looks like folks are pretty really positive about Akashi. Akashi looks very good, says Rabbi Shikoberg. Silence says love Akashi and use it a lot for testing. Ogaski says Akashi product is awesome, and some more comments as well. So definitely keep up the good work. Let me see. I'm trying to find questions for your project.
A question about plugin infra, and I think it's a very important question. And thanks for asking, Matthias. So I believe with the widget infrastructure that we have, so you've been able to see the editor widget, the contract widget with the buttons, the console widget. We're going to allow people from the community to create their own widgets and add them to Okashi very easily. So that's going to be sometime next year. But the goal has, from the beginning, been to allow external third-party widgets on Okashi.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. All right, I think there's a little bit of time. Dr. Bones asked, what's the plan to onboard 1 million users?
Great question.
And how many users have you reached so far?
We've reached a little over 400 accounts up to this point. We opened up the beta around the time of Meridian, so it's barely a month, and we've done no marketing, and we're not planning to do any marketing until the product is ready. The plan to onboard 1 million developers is to get to where they're at in terms of their needs for tooling. The 60-second speed run becomes a 60-minute, a 60-hour, and an impossible speed run for developers that are used to JavaScript, console log, and that kind of thing, and they won't be able to find it on blockchain natively. So with the tooling that comes to what they're used to, we'll have fertile ground to onboard the people, because it's really just a matter of frustration, eliminating frustration for them. And that's the plan.
Awesome. Well, it looks like there's a few more questions. I actually, like Blog mentioned a question. There's a few others there which would be helpful. Please, continue the conversation in the chat, and then we're thank you again for presenting.
Thank you so much.
All right. Next up is Emigro. Blake, are you ready?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Awesome.
Yeah, the only, it'll be annoying, but I have to switch windows to go back and forth to the remote. So anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are you able to use the remote? Is it working for you?
Let's see.
Click next.
Remote for slides, next.
Yeah,
Did that
Just
work?
click again next. Just click again
Ah.
next. Always next. Yeah. I've noticed that the solution is to always click next whenever something happens.
Well, I did it again.
Yeah, try it again. Again.
Again. Okay.
Yes, see,
There.
that's the thing. All right. Well, take it away, Blake.
Let's see. Can I open up my screen? So I am Blake. I'm down in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil right now. I'm building a non-custodial wallet and payment method for digital nomads, expats, and long-term travelers. I participated in SCF 15, and the deliverables have been completed for our version on testnet, and now I'm looking at SCF 20 to get into production before the end of this year. I think that went twice. Well, basically, I arrived in Brazil last year, and I stayed longer than I expected. I ran out of cash in my hand and was having difficulties getting more cash. And then as I was traveling around, I was finding many, many different locations where they didn't accept credit card. And now in Brazil, there is a real-time payments method that has become very popular. It's actually rivaling cards, debit and credit now, called Pix. And so when I looked at Pix, I thought this is an amazing payment method that is nearly free for the businesses to accept, but foreigners don't have access to it. And so what I learned is that our stellar anchors, they're actually using Pix for the on and off ramp. So it's fantastic. So by combining anchors from different countries, like where the tourists are coming down to Brazil, I can enable instantaneous payments for these people. Let's see. Yeah, so up to this point, I've developed a non-custodial wallet, but specifically targeting payments. So I'm not really focusing the marketing on remittances or peer-to-peer. It's more about tourists coming down and making payments directly to vendors. I'm also much more interested in additional national stable coins, such as the BRL, ARS, and pesos and so forth, because the receivers, they don't necessarily always want to hold USDC, and then when they're making payments to each other, it's not as interesting for them to have an American currency when they're in Brazil or they're in Chile. On top of that, there are many other products that they're using credit card on-ramp. But what I see from that is, of course, the cost is incredibly high for a credit card on-ramp. And, to get people to use your product, but they lose, 3% before they even get going is not going to be a way to onboard many people quickly. So I believe that using the best bank on-ramps while people are preparing to travel, this is going to be the real cost advantage. So as I mentioned, I'm in Rio de Janeiro. I've been going back and forth to Canada. I now have the digital nomad visa in Brazil, and there's an entire ecosystem being built around this digital nomad visa that was introduced early last year. There's government departments, and I have been in contact with them, and I'm just waiting to have my product ready to be able to do demos directly with these government departments. The interesting part about Rio de Janeiro that worked out well for me is it's the number one city in South America for foreign travelers to come to. And this equates to over 6 billion per year in US dollars in revenue for the entirety of Brazil, rather. So For SCF 15, I thought that there was some other potential competitors, but as I have now been in Brazil for quite some time, I'm not seeing them in the major cities. The only thing I can really say is a direct comparable right now is the Bitso Pay, but it's only operating in Argentina. And I don't yet have experience with it, but my Brazilian girlfriend used it and she says it works great. And it was actually great because then it helped her understand what I'm doing. However, Bitso, they're still more focused on being a crypto app, and they're not really specifically targeting normies, which is my angle. I'm not really looking in the first stage at onboarding crypto people. I'm trying to onboard normies.
Just coming up on time. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, another thing for me is that I'm focused on cashless and cardless. That's, I looked at Decaf Pay, and lately they're really moving in the direction of MoneyGram, and other products are really focused on having the Visa debit card, which I'm not. I want to get directly into the point of sale machines. Revenue. Well, about myself, so I was an immigration consultant in Canada. I've helped hundreds of Brazilians and other Latinos move to Canada. And now I'm in Brazil going through this problem and have discovered that it's quite a large group that is going through it at the same time. Next month, I'll have the 2 apps ready for beta testing. Right now, I have APKs. I wasn't able to get the video ready for this, but I'm having some login problems at the moment on my device. But I'll get it onto my forum hopefully later today. Yeah, so per the SCF 15, all the deliverables are met. Now, still the product on testnet. Looking for SCF 20 to get the product launched in production before the end of this year. And to meet the summer season in Brazil, where the highest concentration of tourists are coming down here. So on the other end of it, like on business development, I've been spending my time with different trade shows and stuff. I have numerous contacts and have been developing a waiting list. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited for the app to be ready for testing next month, and I'm looking for your support. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for presenting. We have a few questions here, so I'll dive right in. Esteban asks, oh, Blake, I lost you for a minute. I'll get you back up. So one of the questions
I
is...
thought I was just closing the presentation, but...
No, you have to also respond to questions, if you want to, of course. So Esteban asks, Blake, where can we see the deliverables from like SCF 15 on the website? Cannot see the update. Maybe it could be good if you want to shed some light on what you finished for your previous award, and yeah.
Yeah, so, well, first, anyone is welcome to ask me to get access to the code on GitHub. No problem there. I even have the APKs available, but just nothing is public right now. So in terms of what was completed, so we have the self-custody wallet, we have the authentication, we have the SEP24, and we have the I'm forgetting the name, ANCLAP. So we have ANCLAP implemented right now. We will be going next to Alfred Pay, and then also EuroC, Mikobo. And
Awesome.
so we have 2 different APKs. One is for the traveler and one is for the business. And we have the business app can generate a QR code, a dynamic QR code with the details of the business and the price. And then the traveler QR code reader can read the QR code to initiate the payment. And that's all done now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It looked like we are on time, but Blake, there's a ton of questions for you in the chat. So please go
Let's
in
see.
there and answer. It's all the way from Matthias' question. I saw you on CCTP webinar the other day. So pretty interesting. Please respond in the chat if you're able to. And yeah, thanks again for presenting.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, next up is a Petal and Bloom. All right. Oli and Bjorn, are you able to come to the stage?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
And
Awesome.
Oli will join maybe for questions later.
Oh, okay. Do you have the link as well, the remote link?
I have a link. Let's see if it works.
Oh yeah, I send it to you.
Yeah. Okay. I think it works.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, take it away.
Yes. So thank you. And hi, everyone. So my name is Bjorn, and I'm the head of product at Mojo Flower. Now, we were founded in 2021 and are a software company devoted to transforming traditional business practices utilizing blockchain. Our objective has always been to guide mainstream users, those yet to explore blockchain technology, through their initial experiences and help them unlock its potential without the typically steep learning curve, as well as, of course, catering to the initiated, the Web3 savvy. Now we launched our proof of concept Calyx, an asset registration platform, almost a year ago, and have been gathering useful feedback and iterating on our initial idea. We saw this huge chance with blockchain to make tracking ownership way less confusing. Blockchain's built-in transparency and traceability is perfect for these ever-changing setups where everyone needs to stay in the know. And now, after working on this idea for over 2 years and getting tons of feedback, we realized we needed to handle more than just regular shares. The platform had to cater to different equity classes, as well as warrant programs or stock option pools. This added layer of complexity posed some implementation challenges. So that's where Bloom and Petal come in, and Soroban, of course. Rather than an organization having an account on Stellar, we envision deploying a smart contract or a DAO representing each organization. This approach facilitates advanced capabilities in terms of issuing a diverse range of equity with conditional parameters, such as automatically vesting stock options on chain and so on. And also to facilitate governance on chain, we knew that a proper Web3 document signing service was needed to handle those use cases. And that's where Petal comes in. Petal is a standalone service as well as available to integrate into anyone's application, or that it will be after we finish our next phase. So, how can I play the video?
Just click next.
Yeah, like this. Okay, cool. Sorry. Bloom is our 2.0 version of Calyx, developed on the Soroban platform and seamlessly integrates with Stellar wallets. Bloom delivers a comprehensive business-in-a-box solution. It adeptly merges the strengths of decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, with traditional business structures. The key benefits is simplified setup. Bloom streamlines the creation of businesses, merging structured governance of traditional models with the democratic ethos of DAOs. And the target audience for Bloom are entrepreneurs and businesses seeking blockchain integrated governance and payments. Now, Bloom supports integrated payments using Stellar tokens and payment rails like Circle, facilitating seamless cryptocurrency transactions for everyday business needs. And entity governance storage. Bloom provides secure storage for entity governance documents, including articles of association, meeting minutes, and other crucial records. And how it works with Stellar and Soroban. Using Soroban as the foundation, Bloom utilizes Soroban for entity assembly and management tools. Stellar wallet holders can directly link to Bloom, ensuring secure, transparent, and swift transactions. Stellar tokens for businesses. By harnessing Stellar tokens for efficient business transaction, offering the benefits of blockchain security and speed. In summary, Bloom emerges as an innovative instrument integrating DAO-centric governance with the financial prowess of Stellar, all founded on the Soroban platform. Now, running a business requires handling, storing, and signing a lot of important documents and proposals. And we felt that implementing a legacy Web2 document signing service was counterintuitive to our mantra of building a toolset for the business of tomorrow. So out of that frustration, Petal was born. Petal offers an intuitive document signing service tailored for Stellar Wallet users. Designed as a standalone solution, Petal seamlessly integrates with various ecosystem projects, catering to DAOs, individuals, and more. And the key benefits as we see them, first and foremost, is its ease of use. Petal's user-friendly interface ensures hassle-free document signing. And of course, Stellar Wallet integrations. Signatures are facilitated using Stellar Wallets, enhancing trust and convenience. Versatility, it's suitable for a range of documentation needs, from text agreements to project contracts. And enhanced security. Our continuous efforts are in place to bolster the system's security, ensuring the safe transmission of confidential documents. And anyone possessing a Stellar wallet seeking reliable platform for sending documents can turn to petal.so for their requirements. And most importantly, on our roadmap for the next months is making Petal available for other applications and platforms to use as an integrated service. And so thank you for your time.
Awesome. That was great. Well, thank you so much for presenting. There's indeed some questions here. Morgan asks, with document signing services, they only work when they're integrated with popular services. So how do you compare with existing signing services, and what's the pipeline for integration?
So sorry, can you add only to the question, to the stage, perhaps?
Yes. Invite to speak. Oli, you just need to accept my invitation.
Okay. So they only work when they're integrated with popular services. So existing signing services that at least we know of here in Iceland and in Europe. We thought it was what is needed. There is no decentralization existing for these documents. So you always have to. You always have to go to one place, and not everyone has the same access to these documents. And we felt that by utilizing blockchain rails to actually decentralize this use case was at least looking to the future, that made much more sense. Basically, that was our mantra. And Oli, if you wanna.
Oli is coming back.
Oh, he's coming back. Okay, yeah. And in terms of integrating with other services, part of our proposal for now is creating an API.
Can you hear me now, or?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we just to address the question. I mean, we definitely agree with the point that the document signing service needs to work with popular programs, and I mean, we are betting on that Stellar will become a popular platform. So you will be able to, or you will need to be able to sign documents and do that stuff using Stellar wallets. So I mean, I think to begin with, that's the core focus group that we're focusing on. Is that it's a twofold strategy. I mean, we want to adapt using and building out with the Stellar community and existing wallet users, but then on the other side, we also want to make Bloom and Petal that easy to integrate with other services and to be used, so you don't need to be fully onboarded to the Web3 space, and so you would be able to create a user account, and the account would be or the Web3 would be abstracted. Does that answer the question?
Awesome. Yeah, I think it does. And there's also like some, so I think we're on time here. So there's some questions here, I think, regarding like Bloom and Petal, issues with data and state expiration. So it would be great if you're able to kind of, Morgan, if you are able to respond to Morgan in the
Sure.
in
Sure,
the chat here.
We'll do that.
Awesome.
And just a last note is that we really want to be able to integrate and open up an API for Petal, so other services will be easily integrated. So other DAO builders and others can use that as a tool for them. So we can try to create a bigger network of participants that are using the signing service.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for presenting. That was great.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
All right. Next up is QSTN. I'm very intrigued to what that actually stands for. So let's get the team up to the stage. Invite to speak. Hi,
Perfect,
Oren.
perfect.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you? And it's question, by the way. QSTN question really doesn't matter.
Ah. Okay.
Hello. And could you send me the link to the remote, or I can just share my screen, whatever works easiest for you.
I sent it already on DM.
Let me just check my direct messages. Message request. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, I got it.
All right. Well, just click next. When in doubt, click next. Take it away.
Thank you. I'm just trying to come back to the chat because there are too many things in Discord. Okay. And let me just get open the remote. Start my timer. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to start now. Thank you. So hello, everybody. My name is Oren, and I'm the founder of Question. You can see us as the Web3 version of Google Form or SurveyMonkey. So a little bit about me. I went to NYU. I got a degree in marketing. I graduated and went on Dr. Phil's national television show as a cyborg from the future and became a highly publicized meme. After going on Dr. Phil, I started an interview show and I had a chance to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson about data and data being a human rights issue, which was the impetus for this business called Question. So a little bit about our core team. Carlos Guimaraes, he has over 15 years of experience as a full stack developer. We have Daniel Fadley, who is our CFO, who I met at NYU, Anibal Sirio, who is our CLO, who I met at NYU, and Melanie Zhang, who is our art director, who I also met at NYU. So what is the problem? The problem is that corporations are allowed to track, steal, and monetize your personal information. This information is then sold back to you in the form of ads, and it's estimated that by the age of 21, you've generated over $10,000 worth of value for third-party marketers. This is not only a breach of trust, but a breach of data. And these breaches are allowed due to poor data protection laws. On average, there are about 30,000 daily data breaches, with each instance taking around 207 days to be discovered. This puts us, the consumer, at risk without proper verification or compensation. So what is the current data landscape? In 2024, Google is going to be banning cookies. By 2025, it's expected that privacy regulations are expected to cover 75% of the global population, create a conducive environment for user-centric tools. And C, 94% of users value data control. So what is the solution? We believe the solution is Question. And Question is a Web3 survey marketplace where businesses fund surveys, reward participants, and uphold user privacy through our data-driven wallets. So how does it work? We use ChatGPT to help the business draft these surveys. We have user incentives, allowing businesses to basically fund surveys with Sorobon or with Stellar and Stellar NFTs to reward their participants. It's a self-service or complete self-service marketing tool. So you see it's like Google Form or SurveyMonkey. The business, like the Stellar Community Fund, would basically create a survey, fund it with Stellar, and then pay their audience, tracking all of their insights from within our platform. We built the initial MVP on Near, and now we're bringing this over to Stellar, which has quite a few additions. This is a little bit why we're building on Stellar: fast transactions, low fees, Stellar Development Fund, et cetera, et cetera. And so now the revenue model. Basically, every time Stellar would create a survey, we would charge them a transaction fee depending on how much they're trying to pay out the respondents. So we have different tiers depending on the amount of respondents you want to pay for completing your actual survey. We have premium subscriptions for the business, again, if they want to have different survey themes, if they want increased data analytics, and for the user, if they want to have increased priority within our marketplace. It's free for users, but if you want to take over 21 surveys a week, we'll charge you. And thirdly, the sale of digital goods. So we have businesses offering surveys, the user completes those surveys, and then we have a digital goods store where they can spend those rewards, which is Stellar, Stellar NFT, or our virtual points, which is not a cryptocurrency. And so our target audiences are Web3 organizations working with the Stellar Foundation. Again, education platforms, we're currently working with NYU, with Jack and Jill. And then consumer brands, right? We're currently talking to Warner Music for them to offer these surveys to their artists upon, purchasing a CD or something like that. And so now I'm going to get into a demo to show you guys what this looks like. Ooh. How can I click the demo on this page? Do you know, Ankh?
Yeah, just click next.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to show you guys a quick demo of this. So this is the business experience. The business is going to create a survey about Stellar. This is using AI. Now that this survey has been completed, this is the survey task list. So we're going to fund this survey with some crypto with Stellar. We're connecting our Freighter wallet to fund it. After funding that survey, you're going to publish it. And so this is what it looks like for the business to create this survey, your package, the number of people, qualitative or quantitative. And then we're going to show you the user experience. So that's what the business experience looks like. So now a user would sign in, they would find Stellar's business profile for surveys. They would click on Stellar's business profile. They would then take this survey. In the future, we're going to have a timer so that people can't just click through. We're also going to have ads, right, as another revenue source. So now the user has completed this survey. They're going to claim a zero knowledge proof that allows them to autonomously withdraw the reward so that we don't have to be the intermediary middleman. And once they've claimed that zero knowledge proof, they can now claim the reward, which is 0.1 Stellar that the business funded for that survey. My name is Oren. We're Question, and thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, as someone who does a lot of surveys, I think folks might know that they've been filling a lot of forms in lately, but this sure seems very interesting and helpful. All right. Well, we do have some comments and questions here. First of all, was the best intro ever, says Silence, about being a meme. I love it. So definitely captures folks' attention. In terms of the next, in terms of questions, I'm going through it. Silence asks for QTSN question, do you have a client base for supplying the surveys?
Yes, we do. So we're currently targeting Web3 organizations, Near, who we basically built this initial proof of concept on. We're working with the Near Horizon team to basically outsource this. We've started speaking to Telegram. So yes, we have a lot of Web3 interests and a couple Web2 companies. Specifically, the Web2 companies that we're talking to are Estee Lauder and L'Oreal. And yeah.
Awesome. I guess speaking of Near, Matthias asks, question is launched on Near. Why the switch to Sorbonne? Can you talk about user adoption and response to the product? I guess the latter, maybe the first question first, since you already talked about the latter.
Of course. So after participating in the bootcamp, that kind of opened up our eyes to Stellar. I've been aware of Stellar for 2-3 years at this point. After we went into the hackathon bootcamp, I kind of really learned that I think Stellar's really early. And I think in terms of the smart contract with Sorbonne, and we want to be there to basically help that market develop. So really, it's just about being early. It's about seeing the value in Sorbonne. And then it was a chance for us to kind of try some new things. So our proof of concept on Near, it just basically has business funding and claiming. Since then, with this Stellar integration, we've created a data wallet, which we're going to abstract. We've created leaderboards for the top businesses and the top users. We're also creating a customer funnel. So what happens is Stellar will basically survey people. They get back 100 responses. And not only will you get back 100 responses, but we're going to be creating a privacy preserving profile for each person so that in the future you can index and query. So really, we started on Near. The goal is to be multi-chain. We got into the hackathon or into the bootcamp. We learned a lot more about Sorbonne, and now we want to continue that investment. And Sorbonne has a deep investment into businesses and enterprise clients, which is our focus. And James Bailey, who works at Subquery, is one of our mentors as well, who also put us in the right direction.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. And so I think last question. So Spintax asks, what other ecosystem are you building on? So I think you mentioned Near, but it would be great to kind of learn more about, and maybe even what you already have done or about your roadmap.
Cool. So right now, just Near. Near is the only other blockchain that we have integrated, and we're talking to Telegram. Telegram has been talking about us potentially becoming a mini app. So you download the Telegram app, and inside of that app will be the question mini app, and then people can earn directly through there. So not too many chains. Right now, just Near and Stellar. We want to work with the organization specifically to become the go-to, data monetization tool, and then create some use cases so that we can pitch to Web2. So the goal is get some use cases and project case studies in Web3 to pitch for Web2. So, and thank you, SpinTex. That would be really, really appreciated. And are we currently fundraising? The answer is no. We're in the Near Horizon Accelerator, and we're also in the Outlier Ventures Accelerator. I think that we have about a couple months worth of runway. I believe that we can start making money in the new year in January. So before I put my hands behind my back, I want to see if we can make money first before we fundraise. How do you filter out people botting the surveys and fake answers? So what we do is we allow the business to KYC, to access gate. And so you as a user, right, let's say Stellar only wants African Americans between the ages of 20 to 30 in the US. You click that survey, it'll be gated. You KYC through Plaid. Plaid will basically confirm that your KYC is valid and will put zero knowledge proofs inside of your profile that says, okay, this person claimed they're an African American between the ages of 20 to 30. They have these zero knowledge proofs that show that that's true. And then you'll be whitelisted for the correct surveys based on your eligibility. I hope that makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess we are on time, but that was like super interesting. And there might be some more questions here like popping up. So definitely keep an eye on the chat and answer accordingly. I would also recommend kind of not necessarily like relying on the one foundation, right? But I would really like delve into the ecosystem. I bet there's lots of companies here that could actually use this solution for, especially if they, on-ramp to users. So definitely kind of keep in touch here. And thanks again for presenting.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So we are ready for our next project. Next up is Soroban Pulse V2. Andrea, do you want to come to the stage? See if I can find you.
Yes, hello, Anka.
Hi. Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Eager to present this.
Yeah, do you have the remote?
Yes, I have it. I will test it right now. Okay, next.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's
Take
working.
it away.
Yeah, I'm going to present Soroban Pulse. It's the second version that we are going to build. It showcases Soroban's true potential through data and metrics. So first, who we are. We are a previous winner of community funds. We are a team of 4 based in Romania. Me and George are the co-founders of the company and have over 16 years of software development experience. And started our blockchain journey in 2017 as Consensus employees. And after that, we collaborated with various blockchains like such as Stellar, Internet Computer, Polkadot, Filecoin, NIR protocols. So next we have a video demo about Soroban Pulse, the first version. So you can see here the ecosystem growth, the active projects that are being built in the ecosystem, built by the core development team and also by the community. You have a leaderboard with the top 10 developers, where you can select community or core, or all of them, and you can see the top. The active developers that are in the ecosystem for the core developers and the community developers. And you can track the activity for the last 12 months. Here we have the developers that are new and active, and also the contributions that are being made in the ecosystem. As you can see, it's increasing. So, yeah. And also below we have a table that shows projects from Soroban. Okay. Why Soroban Pulse, a second version? Because there is a need for a dedicated platform to underline the usability of dApps built on Soroban. A platform that highlights the benefits that the ecosystem brings to the world. And currently, the data is spread in different locations like Stellar Community Fund website, Airtable, DApp list, GitHub repositories, and Soroban contract data. And we want to gather everything and aggregate the data and create a platform that will have this information. Soroban Pulse will facilitate easy and straightforward comparison of dApps based on software metrics, progress tracking, social media metrics, and Soroban contract data. We are going to build automated scrapers to gather dApp information from various sources. And we will also include the social media insights and offer a news feed about decentralized applications developed on Soroban. And we will also showcase the software activity surrounding the Soroban SDK and the activity throughout the entire Soroban ecosystem. We'll highlight Stellar strengths such as speed, energy efficiency, and lower fees compared to other blockchains. And this platform will become a gateway to Soroban ecosystem. So people can easily discover, track, and get insights of Soroban dApps. And we will build Soroban Pulse second version through collaboration with dApps creators from the ecosystem. And compared to what dApp Radar is offering, Soroban Pulse offers a magnifying glass tailored for Soroban applications that will focus on software metrics, progress tracking, social media metrics, and data from the Soroban smart contracts. This data includes also the expiration date of the contract, among others. More details you can find on the submission of the project. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much for presenting. Lots of folks have shared some love about the analytics platform. Milan even mentioned that he is listed as a top 10 dev. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. So, definitely celebrate those wins. So there's a few questions here as well. Silence asks, is this data going to be available to query from Soroban contracts, like an Oracle maybe? It could be useful with Community DAOs, which is a project that Silent is building, reputation management.
But the code will be open source, and what we are going to scrape from the smart contracts will be available for other dApps also.
Awesome. Morgan asks, Andrea, I see a lot of WASM-based platforms under your belt. Would you be able to speak about how Soroban compares, in your opinion?
Yeah, we like Soroban, especially because of its speed, and also, it has lower fees compared to other blockchains. And we will highlight all the information in our platform, so you will see an in-depth analysis of Stellar compared to other blockchains.
Got it. Awesome. And so Milan asks, how do you plan to scrape those dApps? Do you have to add them manually or scraping from the Community Fund dashboard?
We will scrape everything from the Stellar Community Fund, the dashboard, from the Airtable dApp that Anke, you provided, the associated GitHub repositories. This one we will have to make the connection that is in the Airtable list. But also there are some gaps that we will have to fill. So we will have to collaborate with different teams, different dApp creators, and to get some of the GitHub information. And after that, it's easy to track the social media insights, to get the contract data, and also to scrape for news and create a news feed.
Awesome. Will you provide a public API for those metrics?
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Let me see. We have time for one more question. Tolga asks, thank you for the presentation. Similar models of Sorbonne Pulse have been built on Polkadot, Dfinity, and Stellar. You're using a GitHub scraper in these as well. And will you use the same in this one as well? I'm not sure if you understand the question, but
I understand the question because we collaborated with various blockchains and we created custom solutions for everyone. So for Stellar, we started with Stellar Pulse, which had a basic, let's say not basic, but it gathers the information from the Stellar core development team, not from the community. Then we developed further with Sorbonne Pulse, and we created a scraper that is a lot more advanced. So what we are running right now on Sorbonne Pulse, it's something custom made and in a more advanced state.
awesome. Looks like we're getting up on time. But the last question there of Ephraim that I can see is, who is the target audience for Sorbonne Pulse? What is the core use case?
Yeah, the core use case is to highlight the dApps, to see the utility behind and the usability, and to see the benefits that the ecosystem brings to the real world, because these dApps can be used by thousands or millions of people, or maybe not. And also it's better for Stellar to track this and to see what projects needs more fund and it's better to go with.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be like various audiences, like anywhere from like developers kind of looking to like if this is the right chain to work on, to even users to see what is the latest kind of dApps as well. Yeah, and even like maybe it could be useful like for the community funds to like, oh, did they actually have previous traction? So that's pretty cool. It looks like there's a few more questions in the chat, Andreas, so if you'll be able to answer them there, because we're up on time. But thank you so much for presenting. This is awesome.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, next up we have Club Dax. So take it. So we have already a speaker here from the team, and yeah, are you all set up? I can't hear you yet. Can you hear me? Maybe try to turn off your video for now. Oh, wait. Just unmute. Yeah, so I can't hear you, but we see the video. Might need to... Literally, we tested the video at the beginning and the audio and it worked, but now it doesn't. I think it might just have something with your like Bluetooth thing. So if you have anything, oh, Morgan says you might need to change speakers to MacBook speakers. Yeah, it might just be the microphone input. Oh, I can hear something. I think. Are you there? Oh, we lost him. We were so good for like so many times about these technical issues. I guess it's just okay. Well, hold on for a minute. Let's see if we can get him back in. I mean, let me see. Maybe in the meantime, we'll go to some. Oh, I'm in. Let me see if I can find you. Can you request to speak? No, invite you to speak. Okay.
Okay, let's try again, I think. Now it's better.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
I don't know. I'm just I'm just waiting my turn too long, and just my headset stopped working for some reason. So I'm just restarted, and now it's okay.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And do you have the remote? Everything works?
I have the remote. I don't know if it works.
Yeah. All right, take it away. I don't think your
Oh.
video is working, but it's fine if that's not on.
Okay, I'm just
Oh.
not. No, I'm just not pressed like allow. So
Yeah.
okay. So what we are doing is like central limited order book with automated orders. As you see, I'm very bad at naming, so CLOB is like central limited order book. I also show some demo, and you see that I'm not so good also in trading, not in naming. So actually, let's start. So first of all, what is the solution? Is the central limited order book with centralized machine engine and decentralized settlement and asset management layer, which built on top of the Saraban that combines together the security of the decentralized solution and the speed and sustainability of the centralized order book trading solutions, and also very suitable to operate with the trading bots. So we have actually three layer of services. One is the regular order book spot trading. Another one is the perpetual futures trading. So it's the trading with the leverage, marginal trading for the perpetual assets. And the another point is like what we add on top, because previous one it's cool, but pretty regular, it's automated orders. So automated orders, it's internal, as I can say, like the scripting platform where you can run the small scripts which can operate as the trading bots without like creating it separately, connecting by the APIs and so on, so on. It's like the part of the platform. You can use our scripting framework to run your trading bots actually as it is. So yeah, you can, it's a little bit squeezed, but generally you can see the overall architecture on a high level. So as I mentioned, we have centralized machine engine built on a Go. We have the indexer that fetch information from the on-chain, and the operator that batch the orders and sends information on-chain to the settlement layer to operate with the keys for the operator. We will use the Qubits. Maybe we met this our partner. Maybe you met these guys on Saraban Meridian in Madrid. And the asset manager, it's like the collateral that stores the asset and like manage the deposit and the withdrawal. And also cool things that we have the security mechanism that help us to, for example, prevent issues when with the centralized part. So for example, when for some period of time the matching engine not respond, the system will unblock your deposit automatically and helps you to withdraw all your funds during some, I don't know, extraordinary situations. So you can see a few interfaces here, and I presented one demo, which it's actually a demo of the marginal trading for some previous service for the previous platform that we built for our clients, because originally like we growing from the development service company and built a lot for different ecosystem for our clients, but decided to build our own solution on the Saraban ecosystem. So I think I need to press the next slide, right? So generally here I try to a little bit trade long with, I think, X5 leveraging. It's as I clearly remember ETH perp, and actually, I use the market order just to be faster here, put some leverage, and actually, yeah, I'm short, I'm not long. So actually, what I do here is I put my position and just verify my position, and you see, as I clearly remember, that my position not super successful. Yeah, I'm already have unrealized P&L minus 27, so that means that I made not very good move, and like to not spend a lot of the time, I have another trade here that makes situation even worse, so to not look so miserable in the trade income, just go to the next slide, but I don't know how I can do this. Okay.
We're a little bit on time, just FYI.
Okay, just why Stellar ROMs, a lot of the token asset, a lot of the connection with the institution and financial institution. This is actually why we're willing to build our own project on top of the Stellar, and this is like the overall timeline. So for the SCF 20, we are aiming to launch the version first with the spot trading and automated orders. So generally, this is it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for presenting. That was very insightful, and love that also UI already created. I guess you have been building on other chains before?
Yeah.
What chains?
So we build it on the we build it on the TVM and Citron network. We build it on the Neo network. We build it on a RB21 actually, but it's like the client request, so it's not our own project, but we have like some kind of the previous experience as the service provider.
Awesome. All right. Well, looks like we have some awesome comments here. Oh, I have to go back. Great. All right. So looks like Silent's super excited for club, complex with great ideas and plans. I guess like maybe this is similar to the initial question that I had, but what is the previous platform built on? Is it a central exchange or a decentralized exchange?
It's actually a decentralized exchange. As I mentioned, it's a central limited order book exchange. So like you have centralized part that usually like what we plan to do is the open source our mention engine to build it to have transparency, and you have the centralized part as the mention engine and the centralized part as the settlement and actually asset management layer.
Awesome. And I guess to kind of like move on, like Milan has a follow-up question to that. And if it's a DEX and it runs on another chain, how will the new feature run on Soroban? And if not, how are tokens bridged to said chain?
Okay. I mean, like once again, we build this projects not for ourselves. We build this project as the service provider, so as the developers. Itself, it's our like the previous experience in development, but we're not owning these projects. And we host it, we build it for the clients, but it's like the client project on the different network. And here we present exact project on top of the Soroban and actually focusing not only on the basic features, but also on the board operations.
Got it.
And yeah, I saw some questions about the legal standpoint. All these operations that we present here is actually based on our like the NDAs and based on our previous contracts. So none of these not actually interconnects with our previous operations in terms of some legal complaints or other, just to clarify.
Got it. Another question here from Silence. How is leverage created?
Oh, leverage created, it's actually the it's more like the virtual leverage because you operate in with the let's say the synthetic generated asset as the perpetual swap. So you have like indexer price from some other change, for example, and you have some special mechanism how this asset price can be stick to the indexer price via the funding mechanism. It's like incentives leverage mechanism. So in this case, you not need to have like, some kind of the collateralize actual actions here. You more like, like predict how price for this or that asset will change based on the perpetual swap nature.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for presenting. It looks like there's a couple questions still in the chat, so highly encourage you to get in there and and answer them accordingly. But so far, folks think this is very interesting, and we're looking forward for more updates. All right.
Okay,
Well, thank you
great.
for
Thank you.
presenting. All right. Well, next up we have Community DAO. Silence, do you want to come to the stage? Invite again to speak. Okay, so I invited you to speak. Okay. No worries. Awesome. I sent the link. Yeah, I sent the link already. I think you're great. Awesome. Take it away. Thank you so much for presenting. This was great. I think like Morgan and like folks are sharing some love. We need a community union. So let's see. Milan actually has a question. How low are you setting entry points to create a DAO or community? Is it good that everybody can create a DAO, or were there cases where we can learn from security-wise, like 51 attack, etc.? Yeah, like kind of learning in cases from security-wise. Have you thought about some potential cases that could happen? Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. It looks like folks find it super cool, nicely done. Definitely keep up the good work. And I'm also very interested to see if we, for like the usage as well. So if there are some projects that you can get as beta users, that will be very interesting for me. So definitely there might be some more questions in the chat here, but we have to move on to our last but not least project. But thank you so much for presenting, Tim. All right. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's invite the Phoenix team to the stage. Milan, are you available? I have tried to get you to the stage.
Oops. Yeah, it's not me, it's Griffin actually. You have to invite
Right,
him.
right, Griffin.
I'll just listen. Hi everybody though.
Yeah, invite to speak. Hi, Griffin. Hopefully, do you see my invite to speak? Right, yeah, Morgan says the pho from Phoenix. Honestly, I did not notice it until this time that I saw your logo in more detail. It's actually like a bowl of pho with like a phoenix around it, which is quite an interesting wordplay. But Griffin, do you have
yes, hello. Oh yes, it's great to be here. Who's ready for Phoenix? I am Griffin. I'm the marketing manager here at Phoenix, and I'm very excited to tell you about the DeFi hub we are working to build on Sorbonne. Our initial grant, which we call Phase 1 of Phoenix DEX, is nearly complete. This laid the groundwork for our first protocol, Phoenix DEX. Swap and LP functionalities are fully live. We have a short video here of those to watch together, and it is really important to note that all the things you see are live right now on phoenix-hub.io. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is connect your wallet. And now that we're connected, we can head on over to the swap page. Here you can see the two tokens you're swapping. You can change in between those, and the drop-down arrow gives you the full list of every token that we support. So we're going to be swapping some XLM to FO. You can either hit max or just type in the amount you want to do. We're going to stick with 20, and you just approve that transaction. Now that we've successfully swapped, we can head over to the pools page. Oh, wait. There may be an issue with the video on your end. Okay, perfect. There we go. So once you click on details to the XLM FO page, you can deposit your liquidity in there. You can either hit max or type in the amount that you want to do. And so now we've deposited some XLM and FO into the pool. You're able to see the LP tokens that you have up at the top. Currently have 70.9. And now we have to stake to the pool. So you can either type in the amount you want to do, or you can go to 25, 50, 75, or 100%. We just had some quick options there. We're going to go ahead and stake 70 LP tokens. So once you hit stake, you just want to approve that transaction. And you're now staked to the pool. You'll see some pool information down below. You'll be able to see your current APR, the amount of time you've been locked in the pool, and the amount of LP tokens. When you want to get your tokens back at any time, you would go over to Actions and Unbond. The really cool thing about our application here is that there is no unbonding period, so you retain full custody of your assets. You can get it back at any time. And you gain more APR the longer that you're in the pool. So it motivates people to stay in that pool longer. So now that we've unstaked, let's say you want to take your liquidity out of the pool, you would simply go down to the bottom right and go to remove liquidity. And you can hit max, or again, type in the amount that you want to do. We're just going to go ahead and hit max. And then you just approve that transaction and you've withdrawn from the pool. So in addition to this, we also exceeded our first grant submission by implementing a fully tested open source libraries like Decimal and Curve. Test coverage of our contracts is above 93%. We are already in the process of getting an official audit. We've also been present on Meridian doing pitch presentations, panel discussions, and an interview. And finally, we expanded our team to include new 2 people, which is myself and another back-end developer. With phase 1 a success, we are applying for a second grant we are calling phase 2, which has 5 key deliverables. The first is to develop a sophisticated API to identify optimal routes for token swaps and to use this API to improve user experience in managing and viewing their investment pools. We're also seamlessly integrating with the Cato API to streamline onboarding into the Stellar ecosystem. This will allow users from around the globe to directly on and off-ramp fiat currency. Next, we are integrating with Subquery to facilitate a rapid user experience and provide advanced dashboard statistics. We're also optimizing the user interface and experience to efficiently manage assets from diverse anchors within the Stellar ecosystem. And finally, we will be establishing a public API that provides critical real-time data, including token prices, trade history, to external developers and projects in the Stellar ecosystem. Anyone can use these. I want to thank you all for being here, and if you want to stay updated with us, make sure to follow us on X at Phoenix DeFi Hub. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for presenting. Yeah, you have a real presenter voice there. Morgan says, love the energy and conviction.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it looks like Milan actually went in and answered all of the questions. So,
Oh, excellent. Give me one.
Are there any other questions? Let me see. some last minute questions I can ask, and otherwise we'll call it a day. We have been a bit over our time, but that's all good. Let me see. Well, in any case, is there anything else that you wanted to mention, like based on what folks have? Oh, Silence is asking. Oh, that's not a question. Well, anyway, thank you so much for presenting. It looks like if there are some more questions going on, feel free to answer them there. But folks, that's great presentation, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing your progress.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right. So let me go back to the question, and I would love to kind of get folks. So this was actually the end of the project pitches of October, the October batch. Different this time was that we actually only had like 2 or 3 projects that are up for community vote, are up for kind of like from the proof of intent structure. But most actually projects were that are up for community vote this round are previously award winners. So it's pretty exciting to kind of see their progress today. And we also decided today to, since we only had a few proof of intent projects, to also feature community award other community award projects. So definitely, if you like that, let us know. If this also is right now, the community vote phase is going on as we speak, and we are also finishing up some more reviews. We're working on a lot of different launches. So yeah, we thank you for your patience in this progress. Yeah, for activation awards too. I think we need to do some thinking here, because obviously, like, this is about the limit in terms of amount of pitches. I think this is actually a good amount of pitches that I think for like one sitting. But yeah, I would love to kind of learn more about people's thoughts. Feel free to put them in the chat. Yeah, we could have more than one sitting. I thought about that too. I think like I want to actually change the thoughts, yeah, the structure a little bit. Yeah, 2 hours max for public gathering. Yeah, honestly, I think this like 1 hour and a half I think is already good. But love the comments here in the thread. Thank you so much. Yeah, and honestly, like, great job to like everyone here in the yeah, that was presenting today. It was yeah, like Silence said, really impressed by all these pitches, and Silence also impressed by your pitch. So everyone different. All right, well, I'll leave this up for a little bit, but thank you again for joining, everyone. I'm looking, you know, let's all, like Silence is saying, let's all make focused effort to work together. And yeah, luckily we had a few technical difficulties, but it wasn't too bad today. I think folks are everyone's working very hard to make their last improvements before the end of the year. And yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'll close this down. But feel free to leave your comments here in the chat about how you found it or any improvements. And again, community vote is going on. So if you are and have the navigator or pilot role, feel free to. It's your time to shine and vote. If you haven't yet been part of the community, or if you want to become verified, I highly encourage you to go to communityfound.stella.org/tiers. Currently, the verified role and the Pathfinder role are automated, so you are able to get those automatically. The Pathfinder role is if you have a certain number of badges from Stellar Quest, Orban Quest, FCAOC, RP Siege, and all the good stuff. But feel free to, like, if you have any questions about that, every question should be in the handbook, and you can actually get your role here. All right. Yeah, Silence, thanks so much. This is the first iteration, so right now, and I think like next week we'll share more information about this more publicly, but we're we're implementing a new voting mechanism that's based on reputation, as I mentioned in the beginning. Milan, please feel free to just like mention it in the chats. We are, I think the new platform you're mentioning, the dashboard. There's several bugs in the dashboard, so definitely just let us know. Ping me, or ping us in the chat, and we will track the issue. We are actively working on these issues and making sure that we fix them. So a number of them have already been fixed. Yeah, I guess we can do that, Silence. Why don't you start one? Yeah. I mean, Gemma's out of office this week, so but she will be back. I'm just for those who don't know, I'm just replying to people by voice in the chat at this point.